Hey, what's up everybody? Bringing you a new video. This time is the SH Figuarts Star Wars Stormtrooper from Star Wars A New Hope, brought to you by me. Hey, so let's get started. As always, I'm just gonna point out the differences and things like this. With army builders, I think it's a little difference in reviewing them. I'm still gonna go over everything, but I think it's easy that we get certain things out of the way. It's an army builder, so when they bring out a different version, I think personally, it's either you're making improvements on the body, you are adding something new and different to it, to kind of give it that personal flair to add on to your army builders, or they felt like, hey, it's a cash grab. In this case, I think like it's all three, but yeah. Personally, I like Stormtroopers. I like them a lot. I think they're great fodder to get beat up on. I like army building. That's me personally. But if you feel like you don't need this army builder, I think picking up one is just fine to give it the brand new weapons for your previous ones. But if you didn't like the articulation on the previous ones, I will tell you now, this one has the articulation from the Rogue One, as well as some new stuff. So let's get started and jump into that. As always, I think the first thing we should do is jump into articulation. The look on this guy is absolutely great and all that jazz, but you don't really care. It's a Stormtrooper. The thing you really care about is what does he come with, things like that. So let's get started. Articulation-wise, you can look up, look down. His looking down is a little weird because it causes the neck to actually rotate a little from side to side. So please be aware of that. And that's because the curvature of the helmet will make it go like this, right? So he's gonna look at everyone odd with a helmet like this. It actually can wiggle, so you can, no, things like that with it. These shoulder pads are attached to the arm, and that's something I like that SHF does. But what's really cool is they gave it a rotating ball joint, so you can actually rotate these to look really weird, as if he was some sort of transformer or any sort of thing that super hinged. And here we go. You can actually change the shoulder pads in a funny way, and they rotate up and down with no problem, and around. So when you want to get really mobile with this guy or really articulate it, the shoulder space actually should not be any sort of an issue for you unless you break that ball joint. The arms can rotate on a 360 joint that's on the inside. You can tuck it in. There is bicep swivel as well. And the arms, while technically not being double jointed, they could rotate it by folding the armor here where the curvature is and folding it in, so you get a little bit more of a 90-degree angle. It's weird though, because I really wish they would have made a curvature here as well to get it further than in a 90-degree angle, sort of like they do for the Black Series stuff nowadays, like they did with the Mandalorian. You get your standard SHF peg joint, which allows you to rotate all the way around and get down with the boogie. The ab crunch has always been phenomenal on these guys, so you can actually rotate around. Mine's a little stiff. Ooh, really stiff. So you can see him wiggle like the worm. It can go forward, but if you go too far forward, guess what? It pops. But it keeps it from breaking, so I will always be happy with that as opposed to it popping and breaking. As you can see, it'll leave a very terrible gap in the backside. So if you are not a fan of that, don't press it too far forward. But there's also a little bit of wiggle room down here at the waist area, so please be aware of that too. As far as the legs go, like I said, it uses the previous Rogue One technology, so you can actually extend it here. And there I go, being a little extra. But I did find out something new. It actually uses a new version of the Rogue One articulation. That's pretty cool. Did not know that. So let's snap that back in. And basically what I just now found out on camera with you guys is that while having a thigh swivel, instead of it being the whole joint, it rotates out on a smaller ball joint. So that way this here kind of just looks the same, even though it rotates on its own, a different joint too. So that's pretty cool to find out. I actually did not see that or notice that before. So even that drop down pull out method, you got to be a little careful there, because that joint is on the inside of the leg now. These are things I didn't notice before and I've noticed now. So that's pretty dope. This is soft plastic, so if you want to move it up to get that leg armor in there, you can. But you have to be careful, like I said now, because that joint is inside the leg now. It's slightly different from the Rogue One. So when you're getting down to do certain poses like this, you got to be a little careful about how you're going to press that forward. So when you're going to do poses or holding a weapon, right? See, I have the leg armor here, but it protrudes out on the backhand side. So you got to be very careful about how you're going to go about that, or you're going to leave a little bit of a gap space. So that was actually a good thing to learn. I'd rather learn it now than breaking a figure, right? One of the other things I want to talk about here is that the accessory-wise, that I'm going to jump into, now that I've kind of covered all the basic articulation, is that there is a new part swapping tool. I was going to try to figure out the words, but it's definitely a part swapping. You remove this side panel on the backside, and you can add a holster for your blaster. You remove the cover here, and you can actually add the standard staple blaster for Stormtroopers. You can actually just have that here on the backside. So now you can have an extra sidearm while you carry heavy weapons, which I think is pretty cool. And like I said in the beginning of this video, if you like your army builders and you like your Stormtroopers, but you don't feel like you have to buy a new one, but after seeing this you feel like you need to replace your older ones, I would understand why. Because I know a lot of people were happy that the Mafex one came like this with this one. So they were hoping SHF would do it, and now here they are with it. They have their version of the one that carries a sidearm while it carries heavy weapons. It's pretty dope. So back to the weapons real fast. Let me actually take this out. I'm going to leave this on. What's really cool is you get your standard staple blaster for the SHF Stormtroopers. But now you get two new weapons that I don't remember seeing them carry previously in SHF. You get this long cannon, or is it a machine cannon? I'm unsure. For those of you that know the name of your blasters, please put that in the comments. Thank you in advance. So you actually get this, and it's pretty cool. This actually rotates, which is pretty dope. I was thinking that it wouldn't move, but it's cool that it kind of rotates. A little extra added feature, right? There's a nice little design on it as well, too, so you can see where you can line it up as well. Then we have this guy, which I totally believe is some sort of machine rifle, which is dope. Again, if you know the name, please put it in the comments. Thank you in advance. There's a scope for it. There's two barrels here. There's another scope here. And just lots of scopes, actually. Wow, did not expect that. And this rifle is actually shown a lot in the pictures on the back of the box. So this is pretty cool as well. So again, if you wanted to have weapons for your other Stormtroopers, while these guys, you kind of get one or two to just have those weapons, I would totally understand and get it if you want those fodder parts. If not, also, I totally understand that you don't want to buy any more Stormtroopers. There are a lot of them. Then you get your standard staple hands. You come with your normal closed fist. You get your sidearm holding hand. So if you're going to hold these in any shape or form, these hands kind of give you that two-handed look on it. And then you get your trigger fingers that you get, or pointing fingers, depending on how you want to go about it, for your troopers. And that's really what you get with this guy. For the price you pay, these Stormtroopers actually are pretty nice. I think the only issue that I can say for these guys, that you got to worry about that leg armor and that leg pop at first, and really about the fact that you may already have a ton of Stormtroopers. But if this intrigues you, I say go for it. If not, you can totally pass and get a New Age version like the First Order guys, or go back and get any other version that you want from the Hasbro stuff. It's pretty much lots of variables out there. It's really a matter of what you like. So that's really what you're going by. In the meantime, though, we're going to jump into size comparisons. So let's move this guy back. We'll talk about this guy with sizes. So here he is next to his previous counterpart, one of the Stormtroopers that I kept. I called him Lucky because no matter how much he managed to fall, this guy continuously does not die. And I like that. So Lucky's here for one of my first Stormtroopers. And here this guy is next to him. And as you can see, this guy is actually pretty taller than this guy too. He has a better neck. The white shines a little bit differently. So now you're starting to see that's because of this hip area too. Uses that 1.0 technology versus this new 3.0 technology for your Stormtrooper. So now you have non-clone Stormtroopers that are different heights. That's also a good thing too. Lucky, you're staying though. I gotta figure out a name for you. I'm trying to go with, let's call you Charlie. So Lucky and Charlie here are gonna be really nice and demonstrate some more size comparisons with us. Here he is next to the Black Series Cal. Let's get him standing straight up. And as you can see, the SHF stuff is starting to scale pretty well with the Black Series nowadays. So for those of you that are Star Wars fans, this mixing and matching may go a very long way for you guys. Here he is next to an Articulated Icons Ninja. Stands at a pretty nice height. Here he is next to a Mythic Legions Orc. And next up, we're going to compare him to an SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Agito. Because I actually did this one a little backwards, and we're going to compare the Star Wars stuff a little after. So let's move you guys out of the way. Right? Now we're going to compare him to an SH Figuarts Chewbacca, who gets the tall nitty-gritty stuff out of the way. Stand him straight up. Oop. Then we're going to compare him to the new Vader, which you've probably seen in one of my other videos, or this one today. Brand new Vader's pretty tall. Next up, we're going to do a Star Wars Han Solo. That's one's SHF. Then we're going to compare it to an SH Figuarts Boba Fett, the Bounty Hunter. So you see the Stormtrooper has pretty good height on him. Here he is next to the SH Figuarts Luke Skywalker. Luke's pretty small compared to these guys. So that's a bunch of the SHF stuff. Now we're going to just jump into random ones that I have left. So let's do that for you guys. Let's move Chewie out of the way. Here is the Black Series Darth Maul. Here is the Black Series Mandalorian. Let's fix that foot actually so you don't fall. Mandalorian has a little bit of height over these guys. Not too much, but enough to show. Here he is next to a NECA Predator. For those of you who are going to have him savagely beaten by a Predator. Here he is next to a DC Essentials Brainiac. Stand you up. That guy's pretty tall. And last but not least, we're going to compare it to an alien as soon as I figure out what in the world I did with him. Needs to be pretty tall and much the tallest one out of everyone. He doesn't even fit completely on the screen. The Stormtrooper is very nice. That new technology, that nice little bit of height, and these new weapons are very nice. But again, if you feel like you have already too many Stormtroopers or you're happy with the one you have, that's totally fine. But if you're a total army building chump like me, and you feel like you have to at least have one or two, go out and grab you one. I think it's pretty nice to have one in case you like that new articulation, you want to upgrade. So me, Charlie Lucky, hopefully you guys will enjoy those pictures at the end that I'm going to give you guys. And I hope you enjoyed this information. In the meantime, guys, hope you do good, be good, drink your water. Later.